down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
You just stepped into the Savvy Radio Show, Wholesale Revealed Part 2 with Sean McVicker, wholesaler, connoisseur, entrepreneur, amazing man who's so young, doing so many deals and living his dream. I got him back into the studio. Our motive is we're teaching a class together on July 21st, 2016, Oklahoma City. You want to show up. You got $60. You need to come to this class. It's going to blow your mind. Okay. This is why, and we're going to talk a little bit about the class today. And if Sean just keeps burping, because he's burped a few times, it's all good. Anyway, so we're back in the studio. You are a wholesaler, okay? You listen to the other episode, folks, and get a gist of who Sean is, and his tenacity of getting deals done is relentless and awe-inspiring. If you need some motivation, just listen to what you can do from humble beginnings to rock stardom, I think, in my world. But, so you got a wholesale deal. What's your system? How does it work? I mean, you got to market. Tell us all about wholesaling in general, mainly emphasis your systems and how you live by them.
Well, everything we do is pretty well, dependent on our systems.
All right. I believe that systems create freedom. And what is you have a system created for everything. You have a buyer, you have a seller that works with you and your staff, you have a partner, and then you have a system and you have a virtual assistant that handles all the acquisitions, meaning closings, contracts, follow-up. Let's dive into a couple of these systems, broad strokes, because we're going to get in depth in class coming up in a couple of weeks. Let's talk about your acquisition process. You market your pants off, you get the phone to ring, and what happens to that phone call? Where does it go? And let's follow the phone call.
Yes, that's one of my favorite parts. So we do quite a bit of marketing. So we got a lot of calls coming in, and we've got a system set up to where our calls go into Pat Live. They funnel through an app called CallRail. That's
okay.
how we.
So Pat Live is like a phone service, right? They're out of Atlanta.
I'm not sure where they're from.
I think they're out of Atlanta, and they're investor friendly answering service.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a monthly fee, and then they answer the phone 24 hours a day.
Yep.
So the phone rings, it goes right to Pat Live, and then from Pat Live it goes into CallRail.
It actually we advertise our CallRail phone number, which the sellers will call. That's how we can have reports and track our numbers when the calls come in, who calls, first-time callers versus repeat callers, etc. And it forwards to Pat Live.
Powerful.
So Pat Live has this little bulletproof script we've created, just around 7 or 8 simple questions, first of which being, do you have a house for sale? Yes or no?
That's bulletproof, all right.
Yeah. So whenever Pat Live fills out a form for our Podio CRM. And so whenever these leads come in, they're automatically filtered. If it says no, it's filtered out and we never see it. So the only leads that we're spending our time on are people that say, yes, I have a house and I want to sell it.
Cool. And so this person, usually a female that answers the phone, is kind of jovial with them, nice with them. And then they go through these series of questions. And these questions, what do they do to the seller? Do they motivate them? Do you guys quote a price over the phone? Tell me about some of the questions.
Our questions are just strictly qualifying. So, do you have a house for sale? Yes or no? What's the address? Well, first things, what's your name? What's your phone number? If we're to send you an offer, what's a good email that we can send it to? And that's really just a way to get another form of communication contact. What's the address of the property? What do you think it's worth? How much do you want for it?
Now, so then that dumps into your Podio CRM, which is Customer Relations Management Software, CRM. If you don't know that out there, rookies, you need to know what a CRM is. it dumps into there, and then it emails you guys? Like what happens?
No, it just goes into Podio, and we can get in there any time of the day. We can see reports, how many calls are new that day, yesterday, any day of the week. But we can open up that particular app and see all of the new calls. And what I'll do is I'll go through there, I'll scroll over a couple columns, see how much do you think it's worth and how much do you want for it. Look for the biggest disparity, the biggest difference between what do they want and what do they actually think it's worth. And I will mark the biggest disparity leads as hot. So our acquisitions guy will get on those first. And we also have another qualifying question. Do you need to sell today? Do you need to sell in the next few months? Or are you really in no hurry? So also I'll look for the ones that say I need to sell today, and I'll mark those as hot. So if we have 30, 40 in there, people that want to sell, we need to prioritize those ones.
Okay, so the CEO looks at, see if they're tangible.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's another gentleman, which is your acquisition guy, and he goes in and you basically give him this list, or he downloads this list of properties. And then what does he do from there?
He just goes into Podio. He can see them. He opens them up one at a time, reviews the information, and gives them a call.
All right, and then he makes appointments?
Yep. So he'll test motivation. He'll get their lowest number. If he thinks it's worth an appointment, he'll set the appointment. If not, he'll send an offer and schedule follow-ups.
So right there on the computer screen, he's pre-qualifying them, making legitimate offers over the phone, and then actually in writing through an email. Now, some wholesalers, books that I've read, run out to the house, spend time with them. You used to do that. You don't do that anymore.
Used to do it with nearly every single lead, but now, there's just no possible way.
Is it because you guys are just generating a lot of leads and that they're falling, you can just ratios, out of 10 leads, we can pop one? Like me, when I get leads, I'm like jumping on them because they're very rare and far between, when they're out there, and I get a consistent flow of leads, but I still jump on them. It seems like you guys are getting a lot of leads.
Yeah, we typically close 1 out of 22, on the first contact. So thereafter, it's all about the follow-up.
Over the long time. So, and you have a system for the follow-up too. So let's just stick with the basic system. So your acquisition guy goes out, makes the appointment if it's viable, and then he locks them up on a contract. Right?
Yep.
And then is there a price point or a profit that you've already... obviously it costs money to run these phones and pay for gas. Do you have that equation in the pricing?
Yeah, we look for, we look to create a $10,000 profit on each property. That way, everybody in the team makes their part. We've got 2 people on commission and then, whatever overhead.
Okay. So then you get the deal. It's a $100,000 house. You get under a contract for 40, let's say. And so right then we add 10,000 straight out the gate or more, depending on the value and the hot. So who sets that price?
The price that we sell is usually determined by, our sales team, our saleswoman, and my business partner, Luke. They'll run comps and determine the best exit strategy for the property, whether we, actually
hold it, dump it.
Yeah, hold it to actually do a full flip on it.
Like we remodel it, right?
Yeah, whether we're going to focus it towards landlords or flippers, or whether we want to take it down and go retail.
Cool. So you got those 3 exit strategies kind of on your list. So that, let's say those again. You have a retail option, you have a flipper option, so a guy that wants to remodel it and flip it, and then you have the landlord option, which is me, and I'm on the bottom of your list because I don't get deals from you anymore. But that's okay. You pushed me to go get my own, but it's okay. So you guys set this price together in your meeting, or this one person, is that like an authority type thing, or the acquisition guy just already knows that and he sets that up?
The acquisition guy, buys where he thinks is right. If he's unsure, he'll ask us. But as for the sales price, the sales team determines what the sales price is going to be, and they're going to. Our system for that is they will spend the first 5 days of contract vying for a retail price, someone who's going to buy it to live in it. And then thereafter, we will start our investor marketing. Okay.
And so then from there, your acquisition guy, he's kind of done. Now, he gets a percentage if he sells it too, correct?
No, he's not given any opportunity to sell it anymore. He acquires it, and then he's on to the next one.
But before, he used to, correct?
Yeah, he used to. He used to acquire and do a lot of the selling. He would do showings and
It's too much, huh?
talk to buyers. And, it was a huge pigeonhole in our business. It was holding us way back.
Cool. I like that because the one person can focus on what they're good at, and they don't have to know both sides of the drama.
Yes, exactly.
Because they got the drama from the seller, and then they got the drama from the new buyer, which is, and landlords are pretty intense, idiot people. No offense. But they are, well, what's my RI? What about the AC? There's a lot of, the seller, the female girl who's amazing, and we're not saying names just out of respect, but she can focus on what she can do, and she can sell the sizzle. Mm-hmm. And she's okay, cool. So it goes to the buyer. He passes it on now it goes to the VA, your virtual assistant. Are they in the process of this whole thing?
Yeah, as soon as he gets the contract, he will email it to the virtual assistant, and she will do all the processing. She puts all the information into Podio. She starts the title work with the title company, and after the sales team has come up with our strategy, she'll begin the marketing process.
Oh, so the VA does the whole online marketing. Mm-hmm. Cool. So you're marketing to buy and you're marketing to sell.
Yep.
So that's a pretty big penny there. Okay, then what? Then it goes down to the seller who's showing it. I mean, you're the one that's selling it out.
Salesperson, yeah. So she will be handling all the phone calls, emails, text messages from all the buyers from whatever means we're marketing it. She'll schedule showings. She usually tries to get as many people to a showing as she can to make more use of her time. She will field offers on the spot. We generally ask that people email their offers to the sales at Speedy House Buyers address. That way they can be, reviewed by the team. But, oftentimes people will make them on the spot. And so she will Vox in. We have this app called Voxer, Voxer. It's like a walkie-talkie, and so we can send voice messages back and forth in groups of people or individuals, however you want to do it. So it's pretty cool for my position. I don't do the sales, anything with the sales anymore, and Luke doesn't do anything with the acquisitions anymore. But yesterday, last night, I had 50 notifications on my Voxer. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to listen to all these. But whenever I did, it was, I got to hear from start to end a problem that came up, how they, their thought process on what to do about it, and then the conclusion. I saw how they solved the problem, and I had nothing to do with it, and it was amazing.
That's awesome.
But I got to witness the whole, interaction.
Plus, it's recorded, too, for training purposes and any kind of legalities that you have data to support it. I think it's a great. I have not used that application, but you've raved about it for several months now. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's how you guys communicate and be all on the same page, so there's no confusion. So you have a Vox. Is it by per property, or is it just per person or per group, or how do you have that structured?
So we have them set up as we have our sales team group, we have our acquisitions team group, and then we have our whole team group for different message groups. Cool.
So then the person sells, then the gal, she lists the property, sells the property, and then funded, and that's it.
Yep. Our salesperson typically handles the transaction coordination. Also, she'll work with getting the buyer and the seller to the closing table the same day, same time, and get the deal done.
Cool. And it's exciting. And you get to sit back and kind of watch it and coach them, encourage them, build relationships with your investors, and go out and buy your own property too, right?
Yeah.
So that's your goal, to buy assets. So what will you be covering this stuff in class? I mean, more in depth, like how to hire this acquisition person?
Absolutely.
And then what Podio is and what Podio does?
Yes, Podio is essential.
Right on. What else will you be, did I leave anything else? What else will you be covering in the class on July 21st?
Essentially, how to, get the leads coming in, how to process the leads once they come in, via Podio, and how to make the most of your leads, how to get them to the closing table.
Yeah, like the disparity, whatever you said, disparity between the price. How do you give me a tip on the guy, the house is worth 20 and he wants 30 for it. How do you get him to reality?
It's worth 20 and he wants 30?
Yeah.
Ask him first, how did you come to that number?
Oh, no, that's what my neighbor said.
Okay. Well, is your, I'm guessing your neighbor's an appraiser?
So you kind of be funny and kind of assy at the same time?
Yeah.
So it kind of slaps them, but gives them a little jovial, little jab?
Yeah.
Okay, so usually what do they respond? Well, some people are real jerky, some people kind of laugh.
Well, they'll be like, no, but...
Have you ever called people out, say, hey, let's do an appraisal, and I'll buy it for the percentage of the appraisal? Have you ever used that technique?
I've not. I've asked them, oh, do you have an appraisal? Or, oh, can I get a copy of your appraisal? Oh, I don't have one.
So you're trying to be genuine, but also, hey, where are you coming up with this number?
Yeah, it's essentially leading the conversation, not calling them out saying, you're dumb, your price is outrageous, what are you thinking? It's...
That's my approach.
Yeah, just leading them to the train of thought that you want them to arrive at. You want them to see from your point of view. It just doesn't make sense. So you have to guide their thoughts, slowly. Okay, do you have an appraisal? Okay, what's your thought process here? How did you come up with that? And come around and take a look at it from my point of view. So,
can you remember off the spot here? Can you remember a time where the price was outrageous and you got it way down? Or to like profitability for you?
Oh man,
I know there's a lot of them. Anything pop in your head?
Yeah, I would have to really think on that. I mean, that's what we do every day.
Okay, so this is a regular occurrence. This is in your business model. Hey, they're gonna give us a number, and we're gonna have to kind of chew them down some.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's just the gist of wholesaling in general.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it today, folks. I don't want to overwhelm you because there's so much more to cover in wholesaling. If you've thought about wholesaling or even think about wholesaling or want to know how to get good deals at a good price, then you don't want to miss the Wholesaling Revealed by Sean McVicker. And I'm a little sidekick because I'm a relatively new. I've only done about 30 transactions, but Sean has done over 200 and something transactions as a wholesaler in a short career of only 3 years. And he's going to spill the beans on July 21st, Wholesaling Revealed. Go get your ticket on Eventbrite. Google up Wholesale Revealed, Oklahoma City, or go to classokc.com to get your tickets. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions for Sean, we got a couple more interviews coming up. I would love for you to email us and we will answer those questions for you. Whatever you do, go to thesavvyradioshow.com or go buy assets or do both.
Thanks for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook and always be buying assets.